Hi first grade, today is May 20th, 2020, and today we are going to be doing reading, math, and social studies. You are going to need your word workbook, your math workbook 1B, and those small social studies papers, ones that are half size, and you are going to need your green science and social studies notebook. Okay, let's get started. Let's start over here on Word Workbook, page 60. So go ahead and turn to that page. Let's write the date at the top, May 20th, 2020. And this week we are learning about words with these two letters. What two letters do you see? A, W. When you put A, W next to each other, they make the sound ah. Okay. What is wrong with Alf's balloon in this picture? It popped. So he's saying, aw shucks. When people say aw shucks, that's a way of saying that's too bad or I wish that didn't happen. Okay? So let's look over here at number 1. We see something happened to Cass. We see a word that has AW in it. And we see the super kid saying, aw shucks. Let's read the sentence. Cass saw a big mess. In the word saw, it has AW making that aw sound. I want to trace that blue line. And then Cass says, aw shucks. Why does she say aw shucks? What happened? The trash can fell over and all the garbage spilled out. Okay, number 2. Let's read the sentence. Tick needs a straw. Let's underline the aw in straw. And she says, aw shucks. Why is she saying aw shucks? She was all ready to drink her drink, and she does not have a straw. Let's go to number 3 and look at the picture first. We see that he is saying, aw shucks. Why do you think he's saying that? Let's read the sentence. Yawn. Sal is still sleepy. And notice the word yawn has aw, A-W, yawn. Why is he saying aw shucks? He doesn't want to get out of bed yet. Does that happen to any of you guys? Yeah. All right, number 4. Aw shucks. Why is Golly saying aw shucks? He looks like he's hurt. Let's read the sentence. Golly cut his paw. The word paw has aw spelled A-W. Golly cut his paw. Aw shucks. We hope you get better soon, Golly. And number 5. Now we have Coconut, and she is saying, aw shucks. What's wrong? Let's read the sentence. Her claws are stuck. And the word claws has aw spelled A-W. So this word is just helping us practice saying that sound aw and reading it being spelled A-W. Let's move on to this page with our spelling list. So your spelling test on Friday has 5 words with aw in it, spelled A-W, which can be confusing because sometimes the sound aw sounds like the letter O, the short O. But this week we are learning that the ah words are spelled A-W, so you need to practice that. And then we have our memory words. So we have the same 2 letters in the corner, A-W, which spells the sound ah, which is what we're working on this week. And repeat after me and trace the line. Saw. Good. Draw. Good. Crawl. Good. Awful. Good. Anybody know what the word awful means? Awful is another word for bad, okay? It means very bad. Let's go ahead and pick the right word for the sentence. The baby likes to... Which one goes with the picture? Crawl. So lowercase C-R-A-W-L, and they have the end mark there for you. Okay? Number 2. Etta Betta likes to... What does she like to do? Draw. D-R-A-W. Draw. Doc uses her saw. Now, this could be tricky because the word saw sometimes can be used like this. I saw a bald eagle today. Okay, so sometimes it can mean someone sees something, but it also can be a tool. And finally, the smell is awful. What is so stinky? The skunk that sprayed itself. Okay. Let's go ahead and read our spelling list together. Law, saw. So these words have the aw at the end. Let's read these 3. Dawn, lawn, crawl. These words have the aw in the middle. And then our memory words. Come, coming, they, our, put. What I want you to do now is you are going to do pages 62 and 63 on your own. And what's going to happen is you are going to read the sentence, you're going to look at the picture to help you, and you are going to pick one of the 2 words that makes the best sense. Okay? So, the sun comes up at dawn, or the sun comes up at lawn. Okay, now I know you can see the lawn here, but the sun comes up at dawn. So you really need to read the sentence and not just look at the picture because they are going to try to trick you. Over here on page 63, you're going to do the same thing, but this time you're picking which memory word fits in here the best. When you're all done, you're going to take a picture of page 62 and 63 and you're going to submit it on Dojo. You can go ahead and do that now and you can pause the video. We are going to go over your Fluency page up at dawn, and in that Fluency page there are lots of words that have the sound aw, spelled A-W. I would like you to repeat after me. McGraw. Good. McGraw is a last name of a person. Jaw. Good. Pause. Dawn. Lawn. Awfully. Yawn. Saw. Fawns. Crawled. Okay, so these are all different kinds of words. They have the AW in the middle or at the end, just like some of your spelling words that you're going to be tested on Friday. So let's go ahead and read our Fluency page. Up at dawn. I wish we could see animals like Tex McGraw does, said Tick. Yes, said Cass. Not just dull, tame animals like Golly. Golly put his jaw on his paws, but Tick and Cass didn't see him acting sad. Tick was saying to Cass, sleep over and we'll get up at dawn and look for animals. Okay, said Cass. What did Tick and Cass say that made Golly so sad? They called him dull. What does dull mean? Dull can mean boring or not that exciting, okay? They also said that he was tame, and tame means an animal is not wild. The girls got up at dawn and went out to Tick's lawn. What does it mean to get up at dawn? It means they get up with the sun. I feel awfully sleepy, said Cass with a big yawn. Just then they saw two little fawns. "Aw," whispered Tick. "They're cute." The girls crawled closer. Suddenly, Golly leaped up and the fawns ran off. Cass giggled. Golly showed us that he's not so dull and tame, didn't he? What did Golly do to show that he is not dull and tame? He chased after those fawns. You know, Cass and Tick could have gotten angry at Golly for chasing the fawns away. They could have said, "Golly, we were looking at those animals." So Cass was really kind to Golly, which is good because Golly was sad earlier and Cass and Tick didn't even know. So I think this made up for it. All right, I want to go back to the first page and I want you to tell me what is wrong with the way that I read this. I wish we could see animals like Tex McGraw does, said Tick. What's wrong with that? I'm reading in a flat voice with no feeling, and it doesn't really sound like how people talk in real life. Remember that when you see these quotation marks, that is a character really talking to another character. So when you read words and sentences with those quotation marks, you want to read it as if you're talking to someone you know and showing your feelings. Okay, so listen to it this time. I wish we could see animals like Tex McGraw does, said Tick. When I read it that time, in my voice, you could tell that I really wanted something. I was trying to show that Tick really wishes she could see those wild animals, just like she sees on TV. Okay, now I'm going to read this way, and I want you to tell me what does not sound quite right. Golly put his jaw on his paws, but Tick and Cass didn't see him acting sad. What did not sound quite right with that? I didn't show any feeling, even though Golly is hurt by what the girl said and feels sad. Now I'm going to say it again with feeling. Golly put his jaw on his paws, but Tick and Cass didn't see him acting sad. This time I'm reading with feeling, and the listener can hear that since Cass and Tick didn't see, that makes it a little bit worse, okay? Because Golly's sad and they don't even know. So today and tomorrow, while you're practicing reading, make sure that you are reading with feeling and not with a flat robot voice. All right? Okay, you guys, let's move on to math. Okay, first grade, last week and this week, we have been talking about weight. And this week we learned that when the balance is level, that means that the two sides are equal. And we can actually measure how much something weighs in cubes by seeing how many cubes do we need to put on the other side to make the balance level. So today we're going to measure an empty pencil case, see how much it weighs in cubes, a marker, and my teacher scissors. So before we start, which one do you think is going to be the heaviest? The empty pencil case, the marker, or the scissors? Which one do you think is going to be the heaviest? And which do you think is going to be the lightest? Okay, let's start with the empty pencil case. So I'm going to put that on there. And we're going to see how many cubes does it take to make the balance level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, it moved a little bit. 14. Okay, let's see. So 14 is a little bit too heavy. 13 is good. Okay, so our pencil case weighs 13 cubes. Let's clear it off and let's try for the marker. Do you think the marker is going to weigh more or less than 13 cubes? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, the marker weighs 4 cubes. So which one is heavier right now? The pencil case. Finally, the scissors. Do you think the scissors are going to weigh more than 13 cubes or less than 13 cubes? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, it's balancing. See how it's kind of moving? Let me see what happens if I just stick one more on there and see if it's too heavy. This would be 21. 21. Yeah, that makes it too heavy. So the scissors weigh 20 cubes. So which was the heaviest? The scissors, the pencil case, or the marker? The scissors were the heaviest, then the pencil case, and finally the marker. On this page, we can see that there are 2 balances, and on the first they're weighing a pair of scissors, and they're using these coins, and on the second they're weighing the stapler. And what do you notice about the first balance? It's in a straight line. It's even, which means that both sides are equal. What do you notice about the second balance? They're not equal. Which side is heavier, the stapler or the coins? The stapler. Okay, so let's see how many coins the scissors weighs just about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the weight of the scissors is about 10 coins. And how many coins would it take to make the coins heavier than the scissors? We know that 10 coins is equal to the weight of the scissors. How many coins would be heavier than the weight of the scissors? 10 is equal, so how many coins would be heavier? Any more than 10, so 11 coins would be heavier. 12, 13, 14, all the way up. Okay, 10 is equal to the weight of the scissors, so anything more than 10 would be heavier. So I'm going to say 11 or more. Coins are heavier than the scissors. Now, this says blank coins are lighter than the stapler. Right now, how many coins are lighter than the stapler? It's still 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 coins are lighter than the stapler. So which object is heavier, the scissors or the stapler? The scissors or the stapler? The stapler is heavier than the scissors because 10 coins is too light for the stapler. So we need more than 10. Okay, so the stapler is heavier than the scissors. Now you're going to get out your workbook 1B and you're going to turn to page 12. So on page 12, what you need to do is look at how many of these it takes to be equal to the weight of the thing on the other side. Okay, now when you look at number 3, I need you to look at this. Okay, it uses that unit on this side too, so that's a little tricky. All right, so you just go ahead and look at the picture, you read the sentence, and you fill in the number. And then on number 14, there's a little bit of some extra steps. So you weigh the items using these stars. They're going to call them units. Okay, and then you have to tell what is lighter than the toothpaste, what the soap is heavier than, and which object is the heaviest and which is the lightest. So you're going to do these 2 pages on your own, and when you're all done, you're going to submit pages 13 and 14 to Dojo for me to look at. So you can pause here and do these 2 pages, and then come back with your green Science and Social Studies notebook and those half sheets for social studies. Okay, first grade, this week and next week, we are going to be learning about the different ways people in our community celebrate where they come from. Okay, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about things you and your family do together and certain ways you and your family might celebrate holidays. And next week, you are all going to get to share a special recipe that you and your family have for holidays that might represent where you are from. Okay? And that's going to be a way that we're going to celebrate where we're from and where you guys are from. At a school I worked at in the past, the way that we celebrated where people came was not by sharing recipes and sharing what they did together, but we would put on a celebration called World Day, and people would share song or dance from where they and their families are from. So I'm going to show you just a few short videos of kind of what that celebration was like when I was there, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about those half sheets of paper that you and your family are going to be working on today, and then things on Friday and into next week. Videos, we got to see students wearing clothes, listening to music, and performing dances and showing flags that represent who they are. So right now we're going to look just at this half sheet of paper, and you're actually going to cut it out and glue it on the next clean page of your Science and Social Studies notebook. And like I said earlier, we had a celebration at my old school called World Day, and a celebration is something that honors a special day or event. So what we celebrated was the world and all the special traditions that people have. And these are just a lot of important words that you can go over with your family. Some of them we will go over together, but not all of them. And they are just important words that help us learn about each other and about where we come from and about celebrating those neat things about our families and that make us unique from each other. Okay, and we can share them with each other, and that's what we're going to be doing this week with those recipes. Okay, so the other thing you're going to be doing today is on this half sheet of paper, you're going to glue this in your notebook, next clean page, next to that glossary, and this says my family might, and you're going to pick some of these things to cut out and glue to show things that you and your family might do together, things that you and your mom or you and your dad or you and your siblings that you guys do together. Maybe your grandparents, your cousins, anybody in your family. And it says 6, and at least my family, when I was your age, with my sisters and with my parents, we did not do 6 things on this list. So my family, things that we would do together, we would celebrate holidays, we would eat dinner together, we would go to church, and we would make special foods. And I guess we could say we would work and play, but my family did not play music and do dances. That wasn't something we did. We didn't really take trips to the zoo. I think I went on some field trips, and we didn't really take walks together. And if there's nothing on this list that you guys do, but you do something else, please write it down. I would love to see it. I mean, this is certainly not the only things that you and your family can do together, okay? So any special things that you and your family like to do together, either cut it out and glue it down or write it down if it's not on the list. It doesn't have to be 6 things, but at least 3 would be good, either from this list or written down. Okay, so that's what you're going to do today. Remember to get the help of your family while you do it. And you're going to take a picture, you're going to send it to me so I can see it and learn more about you guys and your family. And then that's all for now. And remember to do your homework, read your fluency page up at dawn, study your spelling words, and I will see you guys for the Rosary Club tomorrow or on Friday.